Hello, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to be learning how to use sweep and revolve tools in SolidWorks. Let me share my screen and so we have a SolidWorks drawing here, which we are going to try to replicate in this video. This is the drawing of a teacup of a candle stand. So we want to replicate this drawing, and the dimensions for these are found in this dimension for this. Dimension for this are found in this PDF document. So we're just going to use that document and starting a new drawing to produce that. So first, we must change our units to millimeter gram second. And so we're going to draw on our front plane, select that, and click to normal. So we are on our front plane. Okay, so we'll pick a line. And we start it from the base of the plane. The vertical line, the horizontal at the top. Don't worry about the dimension. We'll do that later. We pick the line again. From that origin again, we draw another horizontal line. Okay. So now we are going to use smart dimension to set. So this is 20. Set that to 20. And then the vertical also. Smart dimension again. And set that to 220. We set this to 90. Okay, so we have successfully drawn the framework for this. So next, we are going to be putting some circles there. This is an arc. So we're going to take tangent arc. Tangent arc. Sorry. Make sure it's along the line. Then you click. Dimension doesn't matter. We're going to smart dimension that. So smart dimension of the arc now. The radius of the arc is 10. So I'm going to set that radius to 10. So that is the arc. Now we'll pick a line, which is this vertical line. So we'll pick it and draw a line down. Just make sure it's straight to any length you want. Hit escape to leave the line. Now we're going to draw this next arc. So this next arc will be using 3-point arc, 3-point arc. So we'll come to tangent, we'll come to that arc again. This time we'll pick on 3-point arc. So anywhere along this line will be our starting point, and our end point also on the line. Then we can take any radius. Okay, so again, we're just going to smart dimension that too. We're going to smart dimension this arc, and that is a radius of 20. So we have our arc. But from this small arc to this point, you have a 40. So let's smart dimension that line too. From that to this, we have a 40. So let's set that to 40. So we've gotten that. Now, between that point and this point also is a 40. So we're going to make this line and this line. No, first we are going to trim. Let's trim. Let's hit escape. Let's trim what we don't need. We don't need the line bordering the beginning of the arc and the end. So we trim, click on trim entities, and then make sure it is trim close is selected. Come to this line and we trim. So escape to leave trim. Now, next is that we want to make this line and this line to be equal, because also from here to this point is also 40. So I'm going to make that equal. So what do? We hold down Control. We hold down Control on our keyboard. Click on the first line. Click on the second line. And then in your feature manager, click on equal. So those two of them now are equal. You can see the equal sign coming into that place. So after that, the next thing will be to draw this next arc. Now again, this arc, we know the start, we don't know the end. So we're going to use a tangent arc. We're going to use a tangent arc. So we'll come, we select a tangent arc, and then we click on the starting point. We just make it to any level. Don't worry, we're going to smart dimension it. And then following up with that, we can just complete the next arc. Same tangent arc, we complete the next arc. So let's look at that. Now, we observe that this arc is 60. So I'm going to smart dimension that now to be 60. Select the arc. The radius of this arc is 60. So we'll make it 60. Next, we smart dimension this one. Okay, let's take smart dimension again. We'll smart dimension this arc. Sorry. And then we set the radius to be, the radius of that arc is what? The radius of that arc, we set it to be, just a minute, let me figure out that radius. 12.5. So that radius to be 12.5. Okay. So that's how it looks like. That's how it looks like. Now you can see the O shape is selected. So now we are ready to carry out our first work. Let's escape sketch. We are ready to carry out our first work. Which is revolve. So come to the analysis operation. Let's go to, we click on revolve boss base. So here we have to select the axis. So this is the axis we are going to select. And so we have our candlestick. We have our candlestick. So the next thing, we've been able to produce this, right? So next thing is to the undo. If you come back to this picture here, you will see that there is an undo here. So what we want to do now is to produce that undo. So to produce that undo, we'll go to the front view. Let's click it. Let's say, okay, you all want. Okay, so we have that. Now to produce the undo, we'll come back again to our front plane, to normal. We have that. And then let's make our axis, temporal axis visible. Come to view, hide or show. Let's see our temporal axis. So temporal axis is visible. So on this temporal axis now we can sketch. We can come back to basic tools. We can sketch a line. On the front plane, I will select line. We can sketch a line anywhere. First, let's change it to wireframe so that we can see clearly what's going on. Let's change it to wireframe. Now we can see clearly. You can sketch a line from here, anywhere. Let me pick from it so that it doesn't intersect the former line. Okay, I have to pick the line again. So we'll pick the line now. From anywhere, here. So that line, it escape, where is dimension that line? That line is 860. So smart dimension. This line is 60. Now we can now sketch, can now do this arc. So because we don't know the end point of the arc, so we need to use tangent arc. Click on tangent arc, and then we just to any length we want. We're going to smart dimension that, it escape. So now smart dimension the arc. The dimension is 150. Okay, we've gotten that. Next stage is to draw another arc. Another arc this time is a 20 radius arc. So we'll pick the tangent arc from here. Let's escape smart dimension rather completely. So we'll pick tangent arc. So from here, just do that. Okay. We're still going to smart dimension it. So let's smart dimension the arc. So the arc is a radius of 20. Okay, we're going to make sure that this arc, the endpoint, the beginning and the end point of this arc are horizontal. So we're going to hold down Control, click on that, and click on that, and click on horizontal. So that's that. Now, the next thing we want to do is to move this arc down here. Now to do that, we need to know the distance from here to here. So let's take smart dimension from this point to the bottom. So let's change that to 10. Let's change that to 10. Let's change that to 10. So 10 and so we have our what do you call it now? In the right place. Okay, let's click that. So let's see what we have done in, so we have something like this. Now we have something like this. So we need to draw a semicircle, right? The sweep part, we need to create the sweep part. So to create the sweep part, we are going to do that on our right plane. On our right plane. So click on right plane to normal. Okay. So I'm going to use the ellipse tool. So click on ellipse. Not the way I want it. Let's click on ellipse again. Okay. Anywhere like this, okay. So we smart dimension the ellipse. First, we make sure that this point and this point are horizontal. So let's hold down Control. And then make sure that they are horizontal. So next, we dimension the ellipse. This is 35. And then the height is 10. So let's accept this one. Then let's take smart dimension. And then we click on this and this. We'll write 35 there. Now we also pick on this and this. So this is 10. 10. Okay. This is what we have. Now we can change our stuff to isometric view. Come here. So we have this. So what we want to do next is to move that circle, the ellipse, to lap with the base of the handle. So to do that, We hold down Control, we click on the center of the ellipse and click on the start of the handle. And then we use on our feature tree, we click coincide. So now they are together. So the next thing we now do is to use the sweep command. Do that. Coming to analysis operation now, we use the sweep boss. So for the sweep boss, for the sketch profile, we select this. While for the sweep part, we select the line. So now we have our handle. We can change to solid model and see what we have. So we have this. So now we have our handle. We can rotate it and see. So next we need to create a small hole at the top for the candle. We need to create a small hole at the top for the candle. Okay. So this will be on the top plane. So let's see the top plane. So now select that, select the plane. From basic tool, let's draw a circle. From the center, we can set that to 30 right away. Bigger than that. Let's say radius of 15. Let's see what we have. Let's make it like 18. Let's see what we have. Okay, we have this. So now we're going to use extrude cut. We will be using back to analytic operation. Let's go to 3D mode. Okay, so let's do extrude cut. And let's set the cut. Make sure this is set to blind. Let's set the cut to 20 mm. So let's apply it. Maximize this screen. Now we're done with the drawing. So let's revolve and see. Can see that's our space for holding the candle. This is the handle. So we can apply color. You can apply color. Come here. To the extrude cut, let's apply Y to the view model. Let's apply same color and then to the sweep. Let's apply the same color. You know, we can actually select all of them with control and apply color once. So this is our candle lamp stand. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click on the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, drop your comments, and we'll see you at the next video.